And just as cooking has a recipe, so does engine oil. The outcome depends on how the person who makes it does it.
Subscribe to LiSTA Lubricant Labs, like the video, and turn on notifications.
Aren't PAOs all the same? So what kind of PAO is metallocine's MPAO?
There's a product called PAO from a large company that we see often. It means that it has PAO in it, but that's a marketing term. You can't say PAO when you pronounce the ingredients. That's totally wrong. But the PAO that goes into this is a very common PAO. It's a CPAO, conventional PAO, made with a catalyst called Ziegler-Natta. And next, then to make it more evenly, there's a catalyst called metallocene, and the PAO made with it is called MPAO, metallocene PAO. Then what's the difference between metallocene PAO and CPAO? To tell you this, metallocene is made very neat when synthesized. So the molecular structure is very constant. This molecular structure changes its physical properties. Oxidation stability, thermal stability, things like this are made better. So MPAO has better physical properties than CPAO. So we can say that the future PAO is MPAO, but there is one disadvantage of MPAO. So far, low viscosity MPAO can't be made. So only high viscosity PAO is being made. Some people say that high viscosity MPAO is only used for industrial lubricants. In fact, in the past, people didn't know the technology well, so it was only used for industrial high viscosity gear oil, etc. But actually, this is also base oil. Depending on how it is properly blended, it can also be used for engine oil, hydraulic oil, and can be used in a variety of ways. It's technology. There may be people who misunderstand it. It shouldn't just be used as industrial gear oil. Engine oil is multi-viscosity. 5W30 and 0W30 are multi-viscosities, right? To make it, we need two basic oils. Low viscosity base oil and high viscosity base oil must be mixed. Well, we talked about the combination of basic oils, right? I'm going to talk about this by comparing it to cooking. Here are all the fine cooking ingredients. And if we give all the chefs these ingredients and ask them to cook, what happens? The dishes won't all be the same. So someone can make a great, delicious dish, but someone else could make a dish that's really tasteless. The same goes for engine oil. Engine oil also has recipes. Depending on how it mixes and is made properly, delicacies can be made or disgusting food can come out. How to mix and blend oil, that's the know-how and secret. So LiSTA metallocene is an engine oil based on this technology. So that's why it's the best engine oil. I'm a cook. A chef?
That's why recipes are very expensive.
Right. Can't reveal it.
Then, I understand that the recipe for engine oil is important. The titanium, that's like a seasoning. Why did you put that titanium in the metallocene?
That's a good question. Some people ask if titanium is added to make them generate tribofilm. It's not titanium that makes tribofilm. Tribofilms are made by a combination of anti-wear additives, extreme pressure additives, and friction modifiers. Titanium is one of the ingredients. And now let's take a look at the picture. Here are the samples. It's the piston of the engine. Well made. This is a cylinder. This is working inside, right? I'll call this the cylinder surface. The piston moves back and forth and burns like this, and the engine works. Here, the tribofilm will now appear where the piston ring is on the surface here. I always say that there are three conditions for the formation of tribofilm. It's heat, shear stress, activated metal surface. Heat will be generated by combustion. Friction heat also generates heat. Then this heat pyrolyzes anti-wear additives, hyperpressure additives, and friction modifiers, making them active in the middle. In that state, shear stress is applied. Then they get mechanical energy, and the surface gets scratched here. At first, the surface can look like this. It looks very smooth to us, but there are actually a lot of bumpy parts, like mountain ranges. As they pass by, they bump into where they stick out like this and generate a lot of heat. This is frictional heat. As frictional heat is generated and activated, and the film sticks tightly, just like I told you, then these dug grooves will be filled. Well, let's see. As we change it, this is the rough surface of the metal, as we saw earlier. As it scratches on the rough surface, it creates a tribofilm. But it doesn't happen all at once on all surfaces. Tribofilm comes up in some parts on this surface like patches. Like this, pop up like a pimple. It's created here as well. Then it blocks this bumpy spot. And time keeps passing by, you know. Then these activated additives go around and meet the activated parts. And it's created and created again. It continues to accumulate on top of it like this. Then eventually, as time goes on, it becomes more solid. and the surface is filled with the film. This is how tribofilm is made. Now, I said that this tribofilm is a sacrificial film, right? If there's friction, the coating layer covered by the metal surface gets worn out instead, and as they pass by, they suddenly fall off, like this. And once things that have fallen off, they never stick again. These eventually die out. Then you can see here, there's an empty part. They fall off and they become empty like this. But if there's any lingering anti-wear additive in the engine oil itself, it sticks to these places again when it's active, like this. And they come back and forth, and they fall off again by shear stress. Sticks again. And this is the mechanism of the tribofilm. Well, this is ceramic. It's soft ceramic, but this ceramic film floats around, and then it becomes sludge. And then it's attached somewhere and turns into sedimentary material, or it goes underneath and becomes sludge. The titanium additive that we put in is what it does. If there's something like boron, when this is added, they attach it because they think it's boron. It makes this shape more solid in the middle, or it goes in between and creates a solid form of tribofilm. Then, compared to only having anti-wear additives, this makes it a much stronger and softer form. And we put titanium in here. That's why titanium also works to get stuck in between, like this, mixed. This is what it looks like, and it's just like this, but this titanium has very strong bonding properties. This is what makes the materials that are about to fall more tightly together. Let's imagine this. Have you ever watched the Spider-Man movie? In the movie, the cruise ship splits in half. It's about to break in two, and at that moment, Spider-Man appears. And he pulls very hard on both sides as he shoots the cobwebs. Spider-Man is holding both sides tightly in the middle. That's what titanium does. So it strengthens the durability of the oil. I said that tribofilm is a sacrifice film, right? When things fall off, they keep them from falling off, but that doesn't mean it doesn't fall completely. Still, it helps the materials to come off only a little bit, makes it last longer. This is what titanium additives do. That's why I put it in. You all know what I'm saying. So in our engine oil tribofilm, considering the boundary, lubrication and performance aspects, the titanium additive has been added, and it functions to make the tribofilm last longer. Second, hydrodynamic or physical properties in the fluid lubrication area, less oxidizing and less thermal oxidizing, making it last longer, I would say. The combination of base oils does that. So we added those two together to make engine oil that has a long lifespan and enhances function.